Just Dennis Ugas talking about his fight last night. A lot of people in the comments were saying that he's bragging about beating Manny Pacquiao and he's bragging about being a 42-year-old. And if it was prime, Manny Pacquiao would beat him, which he probably would have beat him. But you can't really argue. If you want to fight, you would definitely brag after the fight that you beat your opponent. You wouldn't just be like, "Oh, I didn't do anything." Like you're definitely gonna brag about it. The fight was pretty good. I felt like there was a lot of holding during the whole fight. A lot of cheap shots on both sides, like below the belt, stuff like that. Hitting people behind the head, stuff like that. I feel like a lot of dirty plays were happening last night. And I feel this was a pretty good fight, but he was supposed to fight Errol Spence Jr., which he definitely would have lost. Manny Pacquiao got destroyed by Errol Spence Jr. And this is what he had to say after the fight. I told you I'm the champion of the WBA, and I showed it tonight. And here's what ESPN Ringside had to say about his next opponent and who they think it should be. Dennis Ugas, here's his next proposed opponents. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, which I think both of them would beat him probably convincingly. Maybe a knockout in like the 8th or 9th round by both. And I feel like he's probably going to fight one of these. I think Errol Spence Jr. because Pacquiao is supposed to fight him. So I could see most likely him fighting Errol Spence Jr. And maybe if that goes well, he'll fight Terrence Crawford. But this was a good thing that he won the fight last night. A lot of people were probably happy because he was plus 208 to win. And that's why sometimes people are like, oh, he's bragging on beating Pacquiao. All the odds makers said that Pacquiao was going to win this fight. So if you would have bet on this fight, you would have won a lot of money actually just because he was plus 280 to win this fight. He was such an underdog in this fight. Obviously, it wasn't like Mike Tyson versus Buster Douglas or something like that, but even still, Pacquiao was still favored just because I feel like namesake and stuff like that. Because the same people saying, oh, he's the reason why Ugas won was because of age. Is the same people who would say if he wasn't favored that it was wrong and all this other stuff because of his name.